I should do a 216 flat, but I don't see it happening.
Here tonight. You're going to want to make sure you brake early going into the corners late in the run.
Speed limit
make sure you upshift earlier.
Miles per hour.
Oh, nice.
Of course, stay on
Protect
track.
it's clear.
You definitely want to make sure you're not going to have
laps to get the
contact
job
with
done,
people,
mate.
because the littlest contact here can definitely affect you. And I know they say road course racing, it doesn't really affect when you get hit or anything like that, but I promise you a track like this, it's definitely going to affect you. So really, you just want to keep the nose clean all night.
All right, happy Wednesday, happy hump day, everyone. Welcome to Texas and the Circuit of America. Circuit of America's Full Throttle Martin Sports Truck Series here at the road course Circuit of America's, aka COTA. We got the Nerditudes broadcasting again tonight. In the corner there, so you'll have some broadcast that is a little bit behind us, so you'll see action in my screen before it happens on the broadcast, but that's the nature of the beast.
Try to get what you can out of this thing.
Just started qualifying.
You really don't want to, use up them tires like you were talking about. You see Talon going really wide in the corners. You see how easy he is getting through there. I promise you, folks, this is not.
Just started qualifying. I just took over my qualifying lap here.
Make sure he hits his braking points right. Knows how to set up that one green flag lap that he's going to get. I believe it is one lap of qualifying that these guys will get. So Talon wants to make sure he knows how his truck is handling currently. He wants to make sure he knows where his braking points are. And you're going to see here as he heads down the long straightaway going from the bottom of turn 11 all the way up the hill to turn 12. Hard braking zone right here. You see those white borders on the fence right on that right side. It's going to help a lot of drivers here tonight, unless they have the informative best line.
So I actually didn't get a full lap in the qualifying. I was so busy trying to get the race setup squared away.
To maximize their braking
really didn't get a lap here in the qualifying setup. So I have no idea what it's going to do.
Deep into the corner, so it's going to be hard tonight for some of these guys to really match their braking points. This right here is definitely going to be a troublesome corner. You see a lot of guys lose a lot of speed right there through turns 13, 14. And here he comes right now.
All right, comes the green flag here.
18, where it's really sweeping, trying to just get the most out of the truck right now. But like I said, this is going to be coming to the green, so he's just trying to right now figure out what he wants to do. He dives it into turn 19 here. He's going to be looking to take the green flag here once he comes out of turn number 20 to hit that front straightaway and go all the way uphill to that wide, sharp turn number 1.
And here he goes uphill. And I kept saying 16 turns. That's how iRacing has it listed in the server, but it is 20 turns. You are correct there. You can see him going to that really sharp turn 1 uphill. This is one of the trickiest throttle spots here. You have to kick it really sharp, get on the throttle as you're going downhill, so it causes a lot of excess tire spin. It looks like he manages that really nicely here. I know you said you haven't driven on this track yet on iRacing, but I love my road courses, but this little S's right here is super tricky with the curbs that stick up so high. You can really mess up your suspension, you can knock some toe out, you can do quite a different things here on those yellow curbs that kind of hike as you get closer to the apex of that corner there. But Talon Smith goes through there no problem. Coming to the final part, top of the hill here, as he's now going to head downhill for the rest of the way. Headed off into turn number 11. Looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, he's doing a really good
job. All right,
right
back stretch into the back half here. Let's see what we can do.
That little left turn, you're going to see a lot of guys hopping up over the curbs. You see him right there. Great exit. Was able to hit the apex just perfectly through turns 11. Now he's going to go uphill and then start to descend down the hill towards turn number 12. This is the fastest part of the racetrack, and it's going to be so hard for some of these guys late in the run when their tires are worn out. You're going to see him right here already starting to downshift. You see those tail or the side pipes right there. You see the exhaust coming out, the flame coming out of the exhaust there on the side. You're probably going to see him right here just kind of roll through turns 13 and 14. And then, like I said, right here through 13 all the way to 16, this is probably the trickiest part of the track. And fun fact for the viewers at home, the whole reason that this track was made was they were sitting down at dinner and they were like, let's make a Formula One track. We're going to do it in Austin. And they drew it on a napkin at a dinner table, and hence Circuit of the Americas was born. That's why this track is so weird, so unique. You can't really say what shape it is because there's no real distinct shape. It's got these wide corners, it's got these really tight corners, it's got these wacky chicanes. This is probably, Jeremy, one of the most technical courses in the United States for sure.
Yeah, easily, hands down, and that channels my little inner kid part of me that used to like to draw little road courses on blank sheets of paper at school when I was, tootling around. As I was getting bored at school, like I usually did. So I love that idea. I love that concept because there's endless designs and type of road courses, especially in Austin. We got a bunch of little hill transitions here. Not strong hills, but enough to really just throw a wrench at you guys trying to go around a long track. But I'm going to go to the chats here real quick. I got Jacob Surgis on here saying, Jason Rockefeller is the #1 commentator in the industry, coming in here for a few weeks and just dethroning me real quick, sir. So congratulations on that.
Should have just did the race setup.
Talon Smith lays a 2:14.4, a whole second quicker almost compared to his practice time. Stephen Hollingsworth almost matches Talon Smith's practice time at a 2:15.9. A lot of these guys, the rest of them are 2:16, 2:17. So looks like we're gonna have a couple standouts in this field tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Talon Smith's definitely going to be obviously the one to beat. I mean, that was the fastest lap out of both qualifying and practice. That 2:14 was the fastest. We haven't seen anybody hit the 2:14 bracket up until now with Talon Smith. So he's definitely going to be the one to reckon with tonight. And the fact that we know that is because right now he's 0.5 of a second faster than the field. But the thing, though, about Talon Smith now, yes, obviously you could just tell because of his practice being at the top of the board, and obviously because of qualifying.
This is going to make turn 1 be an absolute mess.
In qualifying and practice. But, Jeremy, the one thing I was noticing right there before we went to splash screen,
the guy behind has just done a 2:18,
did our intro,
06.
when practice was wrapping up, I was noticing when the last lap times were coming up on the Apex Racing TV live timing sheet, Talon Smith was running about the same times as those guys who I mentioned earlier that were in the top 6. They were all in the 2:17 bracket. So if Talon wants to try to run really good tonight, he's going to have to not run it probably nearly as hard, because I know for a fact that a lot of road course guys, they tend to throw down some heaters like Talon Smith did, but then they just lose it on the tail end of runs because they just don't know how to save tires. So he's going to have to...
it don't matter. I screwed it up.
To win this race.
And that's going to be huge for Talon.
I did the qualifying setup, and it was the worst setup of the bunch.
Most of the other guys on the track, and you can take it easy with quotes there around the track to match the speed of the other guys who, at their time, they're pushing it. They're going their absolute limit. It looks like so. That's a huge thing there. Talon Smith can take it easy for the first 6-7 laps in stage 1, and in the final 5 laps, just I'm going to take the stage points, all 10 of them, make them mine. And same thing as they kick it back over, probably like lap 14 or 15. It's going to lead to 22 laps until the checker flags there to end the whole entire race. So, Talon's in an excellent position. Stephen Hollingsworth, I think if he can find just a little more grip out of his truck, I think this little 2-truck battle is going to be excellent. But the race to watch, and probably going to keep our action, lean toward, is going to be the mid-pack here with everyone just all bundled up in the 17, 18 second bracket. This should be a pretty entertaining race back there.
Yeah, it definitely should, Jeremy. I'm looking forward to it. And I absolutely just shout out right here. I believe this is the number
Bobby's 10th.
Here.
And Tony's 8th.
I'm trying to look and see who it is on the timing sheet. It's Steve Allen. I love that scheme, actually, on iRacing. I know a lot of people usually drive it. My cousin, when he first started iRacing, that was the first
so should have I.
He ended up running when he got into the C6 license. But wow, Steve Allen, what a save right there. I don't know if he downshifted right there. I didn't see any flames come out of the exhaust right there. But he got really loose there going into turns 17 and 18. He almost lost the truck.
Yeah, already a half a second faster with the race setup.
I see a lot of guys do that here tonight. Not everybody's a road course ringer, And here he goes really wide off track, just absolutely overshoots the corner. I don't even believe he's going to try to post a lap. But here comes the number 19. This is Richie Coy, a driver who's been pretty fast recently. We're going to have to see where he places here as he
End of
heads
session.
through the S's.
P9.
Well, he's already on his last lap. We got 20 seconds left in the session.
All right, there you go,
He's
P9.
now getting to the S's, so it's a guaranteed minute and a half before he gets to the checker flag. So this will not do anything for him, just some extra practice. Going back to the chats, I actually have a cheerleader as well, Sam Squatchali. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I know I did a lot.
You know, Tony, I'm going right into
It
turn
says,
100.
go Team Jeremy, so appreciate that. And then Tommy Doherty
Hi guys,
says,
thanks
yo.
for coming out tonight.
And then Donahue
We've got
Daughtry, a real
37
one,
laps,
for joining us today from
for the
Jacob
race.
as well. So a little bit
The
different
stage
crowd here. I enjoy it. We're getting
at
some
lap
new
12.
viewers.
Remember,
just,
there will be no
interacting
caution
with
or
us,
anything, so
much
just
appreciated
scoring
there.
at
But
the completion of lap
qualifying
12
is
to
officially
start
over.
lap
We're going to kick it
13.
over to the starting lineup here
That
for
will be your
today's
stage points
Echo
awarded
Park
there.
100. Talon
have
Smith going to take
3
the
sets
top
of tires in the
spot there at
pits
2:15.4.
to be used.
Stephen Hollingsworth going to start
Just
second.
be careful on
Michael
pit entry
Blackner third.
and on exit.
Brody
Make sure
Hanna,
you're
last
merging
week's winner, going to
safely.
start in
And
fourth.
are
Tyler
aware of
Brown
your surroundings.
fifth.
Pit road's kind of
JP
tight too,
Burns
so be
gonna
careful
start
there.
sixth. Tommy Schaefer seventh. Tony Solari
On
eighth.
the start,
Richie
remember,
Coy ninth.
leader
And
goes
round
on
out the top
green.
10, Bobby
Leader
Terrell.
does have lane choice.
Yeah, and then to round out your top 20, you have
And,
Cody McKinney. In
Let's not have any
11th,
turn one
Brian
here
Bliss in
tonight. Let's take
12th.
it careful.
Nick
Take it easy
Goebel,
here on the start.
he's starting 13th, along with
Let things kind of
TJ
get sorted out and work your way
Bartel.
through there.
He's going to be starting 14th. 15th, you have
That's
Alan
about it, guys. Just take care
Duranko.
of
And
each other. Be
16th, you
smart
have
with your
Brandon
moves.
Elder.
Good luck and have
17th,
fun.
Kyle McKillen, who's been very fast last
Is
week
it a
at
full
Atlanta.
course yellows
And you have Joshua
or
O'Connor
not?
Sr. in 18th. And to round out the top
iRacing
20, you
does
have
not
Colton
have the
Gum
ability
and
to do full
Ryan
course yellows,
Chapman.
really. They are owned.
21st,
However,
Joseph McKinney. 22nd
I've
place, Shad
only
Curran.
seen once where
23rd,
that actually
Sherwood
happened
Williford.
with a huge pileup, so
24th,
don't
you're going to
expect
find Colby
cautions
Mice.
tonight.
25th, Steve Angie. 26th, Maxwell Solsch. 27th, Tim Stubblefield. 28th, Lane Allen, last year's winner here at COTA. 29th, Stephen Loomis. 30th place, Josh Mayu. 31st,
The track temp
Rick
is
Webb.
1:03.
32nd,
The air
Casey
temp is
Nolan, and
67
Justin Delton, the
Fahrenheit.
91 will round out
37
tonight.
laps.
33 truck lineup, which is the biggest truck event we've had on the
Car
road course, I
number
think,
So you
since
are
we
aware.
started
Right to color.
broadcasting these guys a
Understand.
year and a half ago. So
There
congratulations, FTSR,
will be no closing
on
the pit,
almost filling
so you
the
can pit
entire
whenever
Truck
you'd like.
Series race
Just
at
remember
at a road course,
the stage
which a lot of leagues struggle
points
to
are
do
awarded
that. So
at the
that's
completion of
awesome
lap
numbers
12.
here for COTA.
We need to catch
Yeah,
car
Jeremy,
number
no doubt about it.
29.
That's the thing. Whenever I was doing league racing, or even if it's not even on iRacing, when I go back to the Xbox days, Forza, NASCAR Heat, NASCAR 15, nobody really liked to really line up and race here at the road courses. And honestly, it was always a plus for me because I was always very, very good with the console games. I always would claw the controller and use LB and RB
Beware
as
of
my
everybody's
shift.
different braking
Use my pointer fingers for that, and use my middle fingers for the braking,
Try to
and
avoid
the gas
calamity on
on
lap
the
one,
trigger.
get
So
the
I always
drug out,
really
and
loved road
work your way
course
up.
racing in the
Oh,
leagues.
look at me, I already got an
Guys
incident
getting
point.
ready to have a really fun one. That's the thing about road course racing. You're not
Apparently I went off track there.
You're gonna be a little bit more strung out, and you'll always learn something every lap. So it's going to be
There goes my clean
an
race.
interesting race to say the least. And if I had to guess right now, this race looks like it's going to be between Talon Smith and Stephen Hollingsworth.
Ooh, what did you say? What are you saying?
Talon so fast in qualifying and practice, but did fall off.
Yeah, well, now I need to start with one. Getting it out of the way early.
Don't count your chickens yet. Think that Talon Smith might run away with this one. He might have some company behind him later on in this race.
Yeah, I forget the driver's name, so
Okay, Richie,
I
let's
forgive
get
you
this
for
right.
that,
Don't fuck up.
Good luck, guys.
Last year at Sonoma, we had the truck race here, or there at Full Throttle, and
All right, here we go.
25 seconds in the lead with about like a handful of laps to go, dumped it halfway through his lap, and lost the lead. So I mean, even if you have a half a track lead,
You've got one gallon left.
check it early, but mental games happen. You can be like, man, I got this in the close, so I'm just gonna do my thing, and then things happen, and then you're not.
Right side.
So, the mental game,
Keep it
when you're by
steady.
yourself for so
Three
long,
wide. You're the
you have
left.
to keep yourself in check. Make sure you're
Car
keeping up.
right. Clear right.
Car is off, waiting for the green flag.
Car right,
Fly at
clear to the
Soto
right.
for the Echo Park 100 here at the Full Throttle Sim Racing Mark Sports Truck Series. Green flag is out. Looks like a clean start as they approach up the hill into turn 1. The 5 and the 24 dead heat get themselves about a 3-truck separation over road number 2.
Decent start.
Brody
Build
Hanna
something
and
from here.
Michael Blackner as they enter turn number 1. Looks like giving a lot of space. Everybody there going through row by row by row. Not many guys door to door there. Really good to see. But the 5 and 24, Jason, are still side by side.
Yeah, and somebody's going to have to give right here. Jeremy, you can't really go side by side, but it looks like Stephen Hollingsworth is actually going to have the nod given to him from Talon Smith. He'll take the race lead now as they work their way through the S's, through turn 6 now, coming up to turn number 7. So here they come, all single file, everybody kind of fanned out there on the start, and now you're going to start to see tire wear start to be a factor, and even just after one lap, but Talon Smith, he's trying to chase down Stephen Hollingsworth for that race lead. Michael Blackner, Brody Hannon, Tyler Brown right back there in the 5th spot. They're all trying to race towards that lead as they dive it down into turn 11.
All right.
Huge passing zone right there. That corner really widens out before the apex there. So a lot of people aim for it low and try to make something happen.
Still there.
People trying to make that happen. Richie Coy, one of them,
Still there.
Right now. He's currently going side by side, trying to get himself further into the top 10, racing. Looks like the number, like Schaefer there, the number 11 for 8th place. He's trying to maintain position there. Still side by side, going through turn number 13. Looks like they're still going to hold it side by side as they approach the stadium corner here.
Yeah, this is a really tricky part of the track, like I was talking about in practice qualifying terms. You see the 19 Richie Coy almost up into the door of Tommy Schaefer there, but he'll get the nod, take that position from Schaefer there out of the turn. Now they're going to head to turn number 17 as everybody single files out here. We're going to take a look here at the replay. Looks like some possible trouble in the back of the field right here.
Right.
Oh,
There's
yeah. You're going to see a lot of that tonight. Right there. That's Maxwell.
Still there.
He just really got in there hard. Good save by him, but you're going to see that as the runs progress throughout the night. Guys are going to just be diving into the corner, think they have the braking line matched up, and unfortunately just overdrove the corner right here. But here's a nice little battle. Michael Blackner to the inside of the racetrack, trying to pass the double zero of Tyler Brown. Almost some contact there. They're going to be double wide here as they head for 2.
Nick Goebel made some contact with Steve Loomis, entering, I think, 16 and 17 there. File for 17, the 25 and Goebel continues to go forward. All these were said on the radio, but early contact here on lap number 1, almost completed the entire lap. How would you have a direct score?
This is the thing now, everybody can start together, really spread out. You can just see how much that is. Everybody's super spread out pretty much every time we go to the wide angle shot here with Justin. You can just see how fanned out everybody is here as they work their way past turn number 10, heading downhill. Here's the number 69 machine. That is Steve Angie right there, trying to work on the outside on the 02. Josh May was just not up, but here they go. Up the hill, and then they're going to descend down the hill into turn number 12. Might see some guys locking up the brakes here.
Trying to make the pass to number 5 there, side by side. Stephen Hollingsworth and Talon Smith heading up into turn number 13. And it looks like the 5 of Talon's going to kind of cut off the corner exit there around the apex. Gets around the 24. Now the 5 of Talon Smith has the race lead. He'll probably take off from that point forward. It's going to allow some of those guys to catch up a little closer here.
The leader
Pretty
is
good
just
race
on
for
216.63.
They're all bumper to bumper here. Trying to complete lap number 2. Pretty racy still in the top 5.
Yeah, that last time around, though, on the racetrack, Stephen Hollingsworth did post the fastest lap for him. He ran a 2:16.67, and Talon Smith ran a 2:17.24. Going to have to see who posts the fastest lap this time between those two drivers. Like I said, Talon Smith super fast early in those runs in practice and qualifying. He actually just ran the fastest lap of the race so far, 2:16.63, while Steve Hollingsworth ran 2 seconds slower than Smith there that last time around. You got to think that something happened there to Hollingsworth possibly to lose that lead when Smith was able to take it. But like I said, Smith very fast in qualifying and everything. So going to be interesting to see if Hollingsworth is going to be able to get back to him.
Yeah, we know Smith has the speed. Does Hollingsworth have the long run? If 5 burns his tires off and shoot quickly, will the 24 be there even before stage break? Which is coming up on lap
Man, he just threw me for a loop.
lap number 3, so about the 4th of the way through stage 1 already. I know 37 laps.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Time, but when 2.5 minutes.
Sorry guys, did not mean that.
3.5 mile track. It does take some time for sure. That tire will kick in. These times will go down even further and further. But a lot of the field has spaced out. And as I say that, we got some issues here. It looks like about 8th, 7th place, somewhere in that ballpark, right in front of Tony Solari. In the 11, we saw the 99
Gap
and the
behind's
19.
increased to
That'd be
0.9.
JP Burns and Richie Coy. They both slid through turn number 10, it looks like. Had some tire spin off that corner. You saw it there on their TV replay. The 99 makes the contact on the inside wall. Richie Coy makes a little reaction to the far outside part of the track to avoid anything from happening to his truck. So, looks like some tire spin issues early on here for a couple of these guys.
Yeah, Richie Coy did a really nice job there, but JP Burns unfortunately just collects himself into that inside wall. But here's the best thing about these road courses, and then here's the negative thing about these road courses is the positive thing is you see him make a little bit of contact there, no harm, no foul. Looks like he has some left front damage that I'm not too sure. But positive thing about that is JP Burns only lost about 3 or 4 spots there. Look at, he's still inside the top 10.
Sector 1 is 0.9 off the pace.
And
Sector
the
2 is
19 of Richie Coy
1.2
is
off
still
the pace.
6,
2 tenths off the pace in Sector 3.
So that's the good thing. You don't really lose too much track position when the field gets spread out. But the negative thing about this is, look at this. We're coming to lap 4, Jeremy. You could just see how much tire wear is already playing a factor because of these 20 turns here at Circuit of the Americas. So tire wear is going to play a big factor. You're going to see a lot of guys think that they can probably go over that hump in turn 10 and not lose the truck. But unfortunately, that's just one of the fastest little tiny turns on this racetrack, and that might be a troublesome spot here for the remainder of the night.
Squad Sally back on the chat saying go 69, referencing Steve Angie. Currently has some work to do. We know we have stage break, but Angie currently resides in 29th place. To kind of go off what you were saying a little bit, you got to treat this race like an F1 race. Obviously, such how spaced out these guys get. You know you don't have the fastest truck. It's like, okay, you got to settle in. You don't want to burn your stuff up. So learn the track, learn where to go. Because the truck will come to you if you take care of your stuff. The mental game is huge because at this point in the race, a lot of these guys have a truck maybe just outside of a second or 2 seconds away from one another. So you're all by yourself, right? So I know F1 gets pretty spaced out overall as well. You have a couple of racing packs. Everyone's spaced out. So you gotta plan, you gotta strategize as best as you can. Hopefully these guys have some spotters to take care of their setups as they're on the track, or if you're by yourself, use the straightaways, use the front stretch, use the straightaway between turns 11 and 12 to kind of adjust where you can, because you want to be in there for the long haul. You don't want to take care of yourself. You don't wreck out too early.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to wreck out too early, Jeremy, that's for sure, and you really don't want any kind of problems. I mean, just what Richie Coy and JP Burns were able to do. I mean, yeah, they were able to recover and still stay inside the top 10, but that could be a costly mistake for them later on this race. Yes, give or take, we will have a stage caution on lap 12, which will be the only full course caution of this race. So the field will bunch back up, have an opportunity to take tires. But that could have costed Richie Coy. You don't know that. Maybe he could have gained 2 more positions before the stage caution comes out. Now he finds himself 6th, currently 9.8 seconds back, out of 10 seconds back. So now he's over that. So, that could have been a costly mistake for Richie Coy. That could have been a costly mistake for JP Burns there. He might lose the top 10 possibly.
Clear right, right side.
It's only about
Clear right,
second
you're
and a
clear.
half, 2 seconds over Kyle Milliken at number 42.
Come
who
on,
sits in
Richie.
the 11th
Nicely
spot.
done.
Paying attention to this pack of trucks here. Brody Hanna leads the way in 4th place, 5th and 6th, Michael Blackner and Richie Coy. They're still bumper to bumper. I'm really enjoying this little group of racing right here. This is the race on the track. Everybody else is really spaced out. So 4th, 5th, and 6th put on a good show. Tony Solari in 7th, even the 11th truck. He's now coming up really close to the 22 as he had some issues. The 19 Richie Coy gets around him through the back half of the S's here as they're coming to the back half of the track here up through turns 9 and 10, I believe, or 8 and 9. That's almost the highest point of the track. Headed back downhill a little bit here. See the 22 Blackner, a little loose there. His tire spin. Saw the truck wiggle, so he's trying to really manage that throttle. Going through turn 11, no one tries to make a pass
Ignore
here.
that
all
fucker in the
single
mirror.
file.
Stick to your line.
Getting
Nail
back
those
to the
exits.
throttle. 11 and Tony Slar looks like he slid his truck out just a little bit. So gonna heat up the rear tires there, and then they kind of space out. But yeah, this race right here, I'm used to seeing a lot more trucks spaced out, but inside the top 5 here, it's a pretty fun battle to watch.
Yeah, the top 5 is only separated now by what looks to be about 12 seconds, which obviously isn't that big of a gap considering the fact that it's a road course. But you could just see though how spread out this field is. If you look underneath the presented by Nerd TV box, you see that Nerd TV track map, and you see right now Talon Smith working his
The gap
way
behind is now
all the
0.8.
way around this racetrack, and just how spread out that
Okay,
field
Richie,
is,
keep doing what you're doing. This is
it
spot
just
on.
goes to show you and
P5.
gives
That was
yourself an
a
opportunity to look and say, man, these guys are
219.45.
really spread out right now. We got guys all the way in turns 9 and 10. We got guys all the way about to hit turn 1. So that's the great thing about this road course racing. Like I said, you're not really racing most of the time, but you're really kind of just preparing yourself for a mental challenge towards the end of this race. As we take a look here at a replay of possibly an incident here that happened between the number 2 and the 59 here going into turn number 11. Man, oh man, that's just the 59. Unfortunately, just misjudging it, tried to cross over. The 2 just had to lock it up a little bit more than what he wanted to. And the 59 and the 2 made contact. 59 being Joshua O'Connor Sr. and the 2 being Alan Duranco. So unfortunate break for those 2, but it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of damage. But look at that 24 Jeremy Stephen Hollingsworth. He is slipping and sliding all through those S's. Great save by him
The gap is now
heading into turn
1.0.
Yeah, he is all over the place right now. He's lost a substantial amount of time over Talon Smith. I thought maybe the 24 would have a little something in the tank late in the run, but he has now dropped 5.5 seconds back of that race leader, Talon Smith. This is road course racing, and I've really come to like the product. So I'm going to give a quick shout out to one of our partners, iRacing iFlag, especially on these road courses, and a multi-class or even in the Cup or Truck Series, whatever you're racing on. It's a great unit to have as like a little side person to kind of tell you everything around the track. So iRacing iFlag is the standard open source race marshalling lightboard system. It has 64 LEDs that give you up to 30 different notifications that iRacing has to offer, like the truck's high or low, or if you're just going slow to move out of the way, gives you a meatball. It never allows you to take your focus off the racing action just because it's really bright, you can't miss it, and it's much bigger than that little flag system there that's on the top left hand of your screen. So if you're interested in trying to complete your sim rig with this unit, head over to iRacingIFlag.com. And if you find anything you do like there, go to Super Nerd or use Super Nerd on your checkout for 15% off anything you purchase from the iRacingIFlag.com website. Head back to your Action Year 22. Michael Blackner currently resides in 6th place here. Kind of spaced out compared to the guys right in front of him, teammates Richie Coy and Brody Hanna are 4th and 5th. No surprise to see these teammates up here running inside the top 5.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. They've all been lights out here so far in these first few laps. I'm noticing something though. As you see the 17 there, he did go wide. Unfortunately, that is Steve Loomis there. And he is having himself a tough night here so far at COTA here in Austin, Texas. But here's the note, Jeremy. We're getting down. We're a little bit past, I believe, now halfway into this stage. You might just see some guys try to short pit before the lap 12 yellow. That is not uncommon here at these road courses, because if you're a driver like in the back, for example, like Brandon Elder, maybe, Alan Duranco, who had some trouble, maybe Steven Allen, who won this race last year, maybe just try to short pit, gain some positions in the pits. You're not going to gain them on track, obviously, because that caution's out. You're going to have these guys in front of you, maybe some others.
I'm trying not to overbrake and run into you. Not that you're doing anything wrong, I'm just trying not to screw up.
Once you go back green flag racing, so I wouldn't be surprised if right before lap 12 you might see some guys trying to short pit here, take that undercut, gain a lot of track position, because they can definitely help you.
Ahead is increasing. It's now 1.0 seconds.
Yeah, 100%. To go off what you just said, the pits do close 2 laps prior to stage break, so
More like
they
that.
cross the line for lap 10. Actually, on 11, the admin will throw
Still
that
there.
rule out there, so you can't shortcut too early because this track is so big track, 3.5 miles long.
Clear to the left.
Hit it. Just remember, you have to go another 22 laps roughly before you find the checkered flag. So just make sure. Oh, the 19 Richie Coy is around. It looks like that's about turn 17 and 18 here if I'm doing that correctly. Actually, that was before. That was turn 13 and 14 there. Just loops it, gets too heavy on the throttle. Does a 360 all by himself, as you're going to watch it right here on the Dirt TV replay. Headed up to turn 13 and just actually didn't even truck lose from the very beginning.
No,
of the
it's
corner.
6.
So just from the get-go had no control over that thing. Thankfully, no one was around him, so it's going to cost him a couple positions, and he's back going to march his way through. And now resides about 8th place, but we're going to kick it over to our first commercial break of this evening. We'll be back with you guys after a few short messages.
The gap in front is now 0.6.
Full screen coverage here of the Full Throttle Sim Racing Sports Truck Series.
Clear to the right.
We're currently on lap number 9 of 12 to end the first stage
Good
here.
move, mate.
We're looking at the number 5, Mr. Talon Smith, who's just grown his lead exponentially to 12 seconds out of now second place. Double third, Tyler Brown.
Now
Has
0.45.
passed even Hollingsworth about last lap. It looks like the 24 is just kind of falling off the pace here, Jason. Not keeping up with the tire situation like we expected. He has now dropped back to 13.5 seconds behind Talon Smith, and he's just praying for that caution at about 3 laps.
Yeah, it's unfortunate too because Steve was very, very fast. Once that practice session ended, and even in qualifying, obviously was really good. Started P2. But notice right now, here comes Brody Hanna, a driver who's been very consistent in these, always very fast. You know, and here he is right now heading through the really tricky part of the racetrack. And I was getting mixed up with the turn numbers because all those turns are so bundled up. But he's heading out of turn 16 now, heading 17. You're noticing a lot of guys get this. Brody Hanna right now tracking down Stephen Hollingsworth, so he might be able to pick up P3 here before the end of the stage. We are about to hit lap number 10, so these next 2 laps, I would not be surprised if you see some guys come down to pit road here and start taking some fresh good readings and try to get some track ownership once the stage ends and stays out. You see the 29 there lock up. That was Tommy Schaefer there. Just another hard lockup going into the fastest corner on the racetrack there in turn 12.
Yeah, and also double zero, Tyler Brown getting pretty crazy loose off that corner, turn 20 going to the start finish line. See the 11, Tony Solari making a pass now to Michael Blackner. That's going to put Mr. Solari inside the top 5 as long as he stays there during the next lap. But going to the chats, we got Edward Blom saying, I'm back again. Go, Angie. Chapman pulling a move tonight again. It's quite possible. He usually finds the way. And he said, go Angie. Pudgy's Pizza Baby. I'm always on down with some pizza, so I'm going to rock out with that sponsor as well. And yeah, got 2 laps left. I didn't see anyone make that shortcut hit that you were talking about, Jason, so I don't think that's the game plan, because once the leader crosses the line this time, it should be closing pit road into the stage.
Alright, back in 8th.
Like to ride it out and keep that extra lap on their tires as they go for stage 2.
Yeah, which I'm honestly very shocked, Jeremy, because honestly, and I'm going to say shame on these drivers, because they have the opportunity to this lap, and it looks like nobody wanted to, which was very unfortunate, because you could have gained a ton of track position. As you see Stephen Hollingsworth there on the Nerd TV replay, he was able to get past Tyler Brown there heading into turn number 11, went really low, hit the apex just perfectly, was able to slide his rear bumper right across the front bumper of Tyler Brown. But Tyler now, he's under attack from Brody Hanna. These guys are getting a little racy. They know track
I didn't expect you to break so quick.
Been key here tonight. So they're heading right now into turn number 16.
Thank you,
Brody
Josh.
Hanna right now reeling in Tyler Brown, trying to pick up the 3rd place spot here before the end of the stage, as they're approaching 2 laps to go this time by.
Yeah, the past 2 laps just into a drift track, so to speak. Every corner he is just slipping and sliding. Looks very uneasy there going through turn 17 and 18. And he's going to kick it loose once again going through 19. And this has allowed the 24 of Hollingsworth to make that pass back to 2nd place. Coming through turn 20, looks like the double zero. Came to that corner pretty clean, but yeah, the 23 Brody Hanna is lurking. We know we got 1 lap until stage break. The 23 is trying to maximize every point he can for the championship battle, so this might be a good race to watch for this final lap.
Yeah, for sure. So they're right now
Woo, take me, baby.
Number 1 now heading into turn number 2. Tyler Brown, you see him just trying to coast, make sure
Well
he
done,
can
Richie.
get
Nice move, mate.
all 4
That was fine.
all 4 tires and keep them off the non-racing surface here. But right now, look at how much
Until I spin again.
Brody Hanna closes that gap, heading through the S's, now heading to turns 8 and 9 here in just a second. Brody Hanna, he might be able, Jeremy, to make the pass here on Tyler Brown. He is right on the rear tailgate of Tyler Brown here as they head up the hill for turn 10. This could be a troublesome spot. You see Brody Hanna closing ever so slightly. He might try to dive bomb here in turn 11. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I was expecting it, but the 10 had, or the double zero had such a good run through 9 and 10 that allowed that separation from Brody and large enough to not be able to make that attack to the bottom there through turn 11. It looks like the double zero. Tyler Brown gets a good launch off of 11.
Now,
Gonna keep
0.6.
space there between him and the 23. Draft does play an effect a little bit here as they're about 170 miles an hour into the heavy braking zone of turn 12, which they go from 170 to about 40 miles an hour, so 130 drop off as they both get to that corner clean. The 23 of Brody Hanna, though, sticking a little closer this time as they go through turns 13 and 14. Brody's going to try to take the top and easily just powers it down, passes Tyler Brown, no problem there. It's going to move Brody to 4th or 3rd round.
Yeah, I don't really think right
Right
there
side.
that Tyler
Clear
wanted
right.
that much out of Brody Hanna. I
Clear
think he
right.
might be able to capitalize here as he heads into turn 17 and 18 as they're about to
Come on,
approach
you
lap
nailed it.
12. And Talon but Smith
The
is
gap
in a
behind
zip
is
code
now
of his own right now.
0.5.
He has almost pushed the gap up to
V6,
19
you've just
seconds.
done a
Now hits
220.32.
lap number 12. So that caution, Jeremy, for the stage should be coming out here. I believe once these drivers all
Right
cross
side, clear right,
the
car
start
right.
finish
Sorry.
line. But yeah, right there in those.
You just swung out so wide.
Any
Richie,
part of Brody
on your
Hanna
right.
getting on his rear bumper. He's
Still
gonna be
there.
close, but it's just not going to be enough here as he hits the
Hold your
line.
line.
Yeah, we're
Clear,
just
clear
waiting
to the
for
right.
that caution to fly. I know only a few.
Did you get any
cars
damage from
across
that?
the line
The
this
track
time.
temperature's
They're-
decreasing.
yeah,
Ah,
now.
sorry about that,
no
buddy.
more drivers.
Like I said, you just went in so much wider.
But 10th place here, Mr. Burns. Looks like the caution actually going to fly after he crosses the line, which he does do that now. Just now waiting for that caution flag to fly at any moment here. Cal Smith, obviously with almost a 20-second lead over the second place team. Hollingsworth just has a truck that's just untouchable on this long run. Carries all the fast speed and still does not show the tire wear. Really impressed with number 5. Looks like he's going to be doing just fine for stage 2 once that caution.
Yeah, we're just waiting right now
Fifth.
for that caution to come out. But Talon Smith, man, this is his race to lead now. All that's going to really cost him is a mistake made by him, as you see right there. Almost locks it up there going into the corner. Ask a lap truck. He's just heading around the corner right now. We're going to have to take right here a look at the Nerd TV replay. This is, I believe
Fan
that's the
favorite.
number 89. Yeah, I believe that might be the 89 machine. Yes, it is. That's Maxwell Solch whips it around there in the corner. Man, I think he thinks he won the race, man, because right now he's doing some donuts right
We're
now.
not counting incident points, right?
He's trying to tell Talon maybe next time let him take a victory here, but he loops it back around,
Oh, well.
saves it. We should be getting caution here though any minute. But Talon Smith, man, this is his race to lose. He's been lights out ever since the green flag came out, and he's not just losing time; he's gaining time every single lap.
I'm really surprised we haven't seen that caution fly just yet. They're usually pretty quick,
On your
but now
left.
the number 5, Talon Smith, is going to cross the
Still
line
there.
for lap
Clear
13
left.
to start. So once he gets the lap,
Thank you, Josh.
if there was a late change with the admins to push it back a little bit, because on the schedule all season prior it said lap 12. So now we're on lap 13, a quarter of the way in. So we're probably going to wait for 10th place, which is JP Burns to
Gap
cross
to
the line once
Brown
again. Maybe
ahead
at
is
that
increasing.
point,
It's now
they'll throw it, but
9.6.
we're still anxiously waiting. The 89 that Solch doing that big burnout, he really needs his new rear set of tires because I think probably has zero grip at this point. We're seeing the 99 JP going through turn 20 here. As soon as they cross the line, we're expecting it maybe this time around. Still don't see it just yet, so we're going to keep a green flag at the moment. Talon Smith up to a 21-second lead over second place Stephen Hollingsworth. And Brody Hanna is slowly approaching the 24 here within 1 second of Hollingsworth.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, he might just be able to get him here before this caution comes out.
You got
If you
it.
take right here a look at the number 4 machine, really dives it down in there, almost locks it up. He just is able to scoot away right there. That's the number 40 or the number 4 of Bobby Terrell. Now he's heading through the S's. Don't believe there was any real competition for him. He just really sent it.
I didn't screw you up, did I, Tony?
Could have wiped out probably
You're
one
good,
or two
Tony.
trucks. But yeah, Jeremy, I'm surprised though the caution has not come out yet. I don't know if maybe possibly the league admins they decided to push it back a little bit, like you said. I don't know maybe if they're going to wait a little bit, maybe wait till halfway. I'm really honestly surprised that we have not seen his caution because we're almost now 2 laps after the fact of when that caution was supposed to fly. So any moment now, we're kind of just anxiously waiting, like you said, but Townsend is just continuing to pull away. And like I said, not just by a little bit, but by a lot. He's up 21 seconds now on the rest of the field.
I've not even seen the admins throw the pit closure 2 laps prior either. So we're just going to treat this thing at this point and as a green flag all the way race, unless they say otherwise, because we keep waiting. I don't see it, so we're just going to continue to go as if it's just going to be a green flag race to the end. So we're going to give a quick shout out to our usually
Oh man, where are we at? 14 laps?
Roasted Gems Coffee offers premium quality, ethically produced coffee gems from different parts of the world. coupled with delicious blends and flavors that will make your taste buds melt with delight. Roasted Gems Coffee is the only place to quench your caffeinated
The guy
coffee
behind us now.
desires.
Thank you.
2.3 seconds.
They value your coffee experience. Each order roasted to perfection upon order and shipped straight to your door for peak flavor. Whether you want mellow flavor just with a hint of caffeine to get your day started, or whether you want the coffee so strong it'll show up on
Right
your drug
side,
test,
clear
Roasted
right.
Gems Coffee has you covered. You're going to find all their products at roastedgems.com to get yourself a taste.
Thank you.
Joshua, you give plenty of leeway there to the 14 to head off to the start-finish line to start their lap number 14. Approaching the halfway mark here in about 5 laps or so, and number 5 is still growing his lead, Jason. He's 22 seconds now over second place.
Yeah, he is still continuing to grow that lead. As you head right now onto the Nerd TV replay, you see Timothy Stumblefield there. I don't know if he was avoiding a truck or not, but he was really high there.
The captain,
let him go
Brown,
by.
ahead
I'm
is
not
now
too sure what
10
that was all
seconds.
about right there. He was really high entering turns 1 and 2. But Jeremy, I'm taking a look right now at that Apex Racing TV live timing sheet, and we actually did have a taker back on lap 12 into the pits. You see the 14 almost curb hops that thing. Wow, that thing was on 2 wheels for a little bit of hang time there. I tell you what, if this was Monster Jam, he probably would have gotten a few points for the judges there over in turn 10. But we did have a taker, Jeremy. Steve Andrew, that number 69 machine is currently 23rd, back by 2 minutes 59 seconds. He's currently all the way back there, but he hit it on lap number 12. So I don't believe that these guys probably cut the pits short. You see his flannel picture right there. They're not changing tires on it. It looks like they're just talking, probably talking about what kind of Roasted Gems coffee they're going to buy here after this. So yeah, maybe some fudgies and pizza here as customers by here. But yeah, the 69 right there was the only taker there on pit road on lap number 12. So he's the freshest one on tires right now. So he might be able to leapfrog the field once this caution does come out or when they do have to pit.
If I had a restaurant near me that served pizza and all the workers were in flannel t-shirts, I'm buying from there every single time. You know that pizza is going to taste absolutely amazing. But yeah, to your point, now the 69 has 14 to 15 laps fresher tires. He's going to able probably to run at least a second and a half faster than what he was and what everybody else is doing. So you just, at the same token, since you're the first person in, you have to take care of those tires. If you try to go too hard in the paint too early, it's all for nothing, because when they pit, they're just going to do the same thing to you. They're going to eat you right back up. So he's got to take it easy. About the first 5 or 6 laps, you're going to be foul. He's going through the grass here. He's going really too early.
Man, just riding around here.
To eliminate all of the speed and momentum that he had getting that short pace. He just went through the grass through turns 9 and 10, giving way too much extra room, as we're probably going to catch that here on the Nerd TV replay. Steve Angie, part of the mowing service at Circuit of America, is just crawling through the grass here. Not sure if he just overshot 9 and got loose, but there he is. Gave up
Pulling
a
away
lot
from
of
the guy
ground there.
behind.
Thanks,
The
guys.
gap's now
Appreciate it.
4.6
That
seconds.
kind of eliminates that, but yeah, just take care of your stuff at this point, and it doesn't look like we're going to have any cautions, so we've got to save those tires for another, 23 laps?
Yeah, I'm honestly not too sure, Jeremy, if we're even actually going to see that caution, because mind the fact, too, that obviously these guys kind of base, I believe, some of their rules,
Thank you,
too,
Steven.
off the actual NASCAR rule book. I remember back in Atlanta this past Monday, I believe it was, you were not allowed to go down below the red and white line to advance your position. And there's been some guys who just keep coming to the pits. I think Joshua O'Connor Sr., he came into the pits, but right now it says he's out. No, he's not. And yes, he is out. He's exited the pits. So Joshua O'Connor Sr. now the latest one to put on some fresh Goodyear Eagles, but currently he's the first truck 1 lap down. I actually believe that might be him right behind Talon Smith, who just came out of the pits. We're going to have to see. So, Jeremy, if you remember, during, I believe it was the beginning of the season here for the top 3 NASCARs in the series, they did say they were not going to have stage cautions at these events. So that could very well be the case here tonight for this league. They may just not throw a full course yellow here in this race.
Yeah, I was actually thinking the same thing too. I know that rule is in effect, but I didn't hear anything adjusted. I didn't see it, so I was just going to call it how it's listed. And I think you're going to nail this one on the head, as we're basically halfway at this point, or really close to it. So yeah, I think we're just going to go green the rest of the way. So we're going to plan on that. We've seen a couple early takers. That means we're going to have to see a couple guys take a 2-stop race, I would imagine. Not sure if they can stretch out their field that long or their tires that long. We're going to pit twice, which, if you have an ill-handling truck, you're probably going to need that anyways. Jumping back to the chats here, everyone's saying, I think you got a slice of pizza too. Hard to maintain your line when you're enjoying Pudgies. Yeah, I guess if you're trying to balance the wheel with one hand and a delicious slice of pepperoni pizza in the other, I don't know if NASCAR is going to like that or iRacing. You got to keep your helmet visor down under green flag conditions.
Okay, Richie, you're reeling Hollingsworth
just
in.
kidding,
The
but there
gap's
might
now
be some penalties headed
8.6.
this way, who knows. But yeah, that could be a great explanation, Edward.
Yeah, and I tell you what, too, Jeremy, we got a nice little battle going on track here. The 0-0 of Tyler Brown and Stephen Hollingsworth, man. They might not be battling for first and second right now, but they're battling for that final position up on that podium for the bronze spot right now. These guys have been duking it out the last 2 laps, swapping positions between the two of them. Tyler Brown, he fell back behind Steve Hollingsworth there, and now he's gotten back by him. These guys are so loose coming out of the corners. Those tires are definitely squealing, like Terry Radford would say, like a duck in a pin, because I know he's a Tennessee Volunteers fan. Yeah, that's pretty much how these rear tires are handling right now. So these guys are just begging for some fresh Goodyear Eagles right now. But yeah, these guys probably should be pitting here pretty soon, because I know those tires are definitely going to be a factor here as we're reaching 21 to go.
Probably going to see you guys hit the next couple laps, probably lap 18 or 19, really. That's going to be your halfway point. And that would be the perfect time to split the race in half, get those set of Goodyear tires, and be on your way. But right before the pits do happen, we're going to kick it to our second commercial break. Picture-in-picture mode. Be back to you guys after a few messages.
The gap behind is now 6.1. Far right, clear right.
Thank you. Catching these guys.
That lap was at 220.32. Sector 3 is 0.9 off the pace. Cotsworth in. The gap is 4.9.
Welcome back to full screen coverage here of Full Throttle Sim Racing Martin Sports Truck Series, and you're watching this pretty awesome battle right now with the 00 of Tyler Brown and the 24 of Stephen Hollingsworth. These guys have really technically not left each other all race long. They've been spaced out a little bit, they've come back, they've spaced out, and right now, 18 laps in, halfway, these guys are just going for it like it's the last lap. We almost see some crossover action. Some really close racing through the S's in particular. These guys are just, they're entertaining us right now, Jason.
Yeah, these guys have been the best battle on the racetrack, unfortunately, compared to what Talon Smith is doing, because he's dropping an absolute clinic on this field. Make sure to check out your local Spotify probably on Friday, because he's probably going to drop a song called I Dominated at COTA, more than likely, because that's exactly what he's doing here tonight. But you see Stephen Hollingsworth, he is all over the back bumper of Tyler Brown. When we went to that side-by-side commercial break, Jeremy, we were all discussing it here in the booth with our producer, Justin. You saw the 24, he tried to cross over Tyler Brown there heading into turns 2 and 3. He's going to get to his back bumper right here. Oh my gosh, this looked like Ross Chastain, Alex Bowman, and AJ Allmendinger from last year, man. These guys are putting on one heck of a show here for the sim racing fans. This has been the battle. Well, there goes that battle. Bye-bye. Here's the first real taker, it looks like, up at the front for the heavy hitters. Here goes Stephen Hollingsworth. He's going to have to pit, take some fresh tires, and see what he can get out of this.
Splits the race right down the middle, coming into pit lane at the end of lap 18 on to lap 19. So we're probably going to see the 00 make that pit stop. Probably this lap, I would imagine, that most other guys, as we're now officially halfway through this thing. Talon Reller's up to a 33-second lead over second place Brody Hanna. James pulled away from the 00 and 24 at the time. Running a race of his own. I know his teammates Richie Coy and Bobby Terrell, they're running 5th and 6th.
He pitted the last lap.
And then Tony Solari actually in 7th. So all of Fury Motorsports inside the top 10, which I know that number 11, Mr. Cutney, is set up on the road course. He turn right and left. So looks like his setup once again is showing that it's pretty good overall. Not Talon Smith bad. That's a good thing to say.
Yeah, that's definitely a good thing to say, especially for Tony Solari right now. You see a little bit of damage, though, all down the left side of that race truck, between the left front fender, the left front quarter panel, and even the driver's side door right beneath that window. But it looks like everybody's got a really piece of damage here tonight. It is COTA. Obviously, everybody's going to make mistakes unless you're looking to be a road course ringer like Talon Smith, I said. Again, dropping that single this Friday called I Dominated at COTA. Like he could be.
I actually don't know.
I'm not too sure. Yes, he is. Jeremy, here comes your leader, Talon Smith, at nearly 35-second gap. We have to see how much time he loses here. What time will tell, though? Oh, a little bit of contact there. Right there in the pits with a truck.
Come on, Richie. Good stuff. Keep it coming.
This is your race to win. You don't want to lose it, and you don't want to make enemies. You don't. I know the 33 was going a little slow on pit road, but
yellow flag.
I don't know if the bump was called for, but it's not going to do any damage, at least heavy enough to do anything to the 5 truck. But as they exit down pit road, it looks like the rest of the stop and all the way through pit road is clean other than that little contact. Gets off of pit road just fine, and I think the 5 is going to set sail the rest of the way as long as he can keep all 4 tires underneath him.
Yeah, pretty much. Like we talked about, Jeremy, this is Talon Smith's race to lose. And right now, he's got a little bit over a 3-second gap on Brody Hanna, but Brody has not pitted yet. Actually, that opened up the door that last time around when Talon did pitch. You see the 33 right here. He went off track. I think he actually just decided to tow it finally. Yeah, he said I had enough making left and right turns. I'm a virtual NASCAR sim racer. I only make left
ahead
turns,
is now
but I
10
don't blame them.
seconds.
You know, some guys are going to be strong here at these road courses, some aren't. You know, some guys just like it and they like to learn from it. Drivers like more than likely Richie Coy, who's usually strong on the ovals, and he's actually having a really good showing tonight. Brody Hanna, again, another driver right now in second, and obviously the best battle on the racetrack right now. Steve Hollingsworth and Tyler Brown, what they've been putting on these last handful of laps. But so far, it looks like Talon Smith, like I said, he's dropping that single.
Well, honestly, I think I have
honestly
to
a
pick
running
this
joke,
up.
but
I made
he's
choice.
just been running away with this race so far, and he's continuing to grow that gap on Brody Hanna. But Talon Smith did open up the door big time that last time around. Most of the whole entire field did pit that last time around, Jeremy.
Just to show you how much time the Talon Smith had over everybody else, the next guy behind this number 5 is the 23 of Brody Hanna, by like 5 or 6 seconds. This guy had a lead, he pitted by himself, and he came out still in front of second place without second place coming down pit road. So that just shows you how much time he had on everybody else. We still have to see the 23 make his pit stop.
Ahead is pitting.
That really impresses me. I know it's a road course and people have their niches.
Watch your speed limit in the pits.
Just to see
Pit
that
lane
kind
speed
of
limit is
domination,
50
I'm
miles
sure
per
that
hour.
song that he's writing
Engage
is
the
probably
limiter.
going to be
We
over
don't have the
6
data.
minutes long. Just because, you know, he's had so much time to think about his lyrics, right?
Yeah, he's probably going to have about 20 verses for the 20 turns here at COTA, and it's probably realistically going to be a 2.5-minute song. As you see Brody Hanna now, he's into the pits, obviously going to give up all that track he need on Talon Smith, but obviously that was going to be given as that full throttle sim racing truck. Number 23 heads into the pits and also brings Richie Coy behind him in that beautiful number 19 Martin Sports
Don't cross the white line.
Here.
Yeah, Fury Motorsports coming down pit road, giving up second and third place. Tony Solari probably going to follow suit here as he's the next truck in line to do so with Bobby Terrell as they're running on the track right now, 7th and 8th place. As they go through turns 19, let's see if the 4 and the 11 do the same thing. The 4 does not. The 11 does not. So half the team pits one lap, and we're probably going to see the other half of the team pit the following lap. So they're going to stay on the track, try to gain a couple spots, and they're going to have to give it right back up when you go down pit road. But they're just extending the tires on this first run and having a much better comfort in that truck for the shorter second half of the run.
Yeah, man, right there, the 99, he just almost overshot the S's, completely going through there. That could have been really big there for JP Burns. He almost made contact there with another truck. And also mind the fact, Jeremy, Steve Hollingsworth posted the fastest lap of the race just that last time around with a 2-minute 16-second 0.37 seconds as well added onto that. So right now, Steve Hollingsworth has the fastest lap of the race, but obviously he's going to have something big, Jeremy, happen if he's going to want to catch Talon Smith and try to pass him and possibly more than likely take home this win because Talon is currently up
just done at 2:15.16
on second place, Stephen Hollingsworth right now.
As you were talking about Stephen going through 11, you did lock him up and overshoot the entrance of turn 11. I would expect him in the 00 to find themselves. The 00 has the fresher tires, though. You know, he did drop back quite a significant amount of time, around like 8 to 10 seconds. But he will be back there. Don't count him out just yet. He's under fire now. But yeah, Talon right now has, we're going to see this time by
I'll let you buy it.
not up there. 5 just crossed the line now.
Take it on the inside out.
Take it back over in second place. 17 and 8 right now. Still not even on the home straightaway. Gotta be at least 30 seconds like prior to the pit stops happening. They come through 220 this time. Stay up. Time difference this has. They're about 32 seconds last time. Coming across the line, 39-second lead. Talon Smith now over second place, Stephen Hollingsworth.
Yeah, man, that's just a really big gap here. We're going to take a look here at your Nerd TV replays. You see the 27 machine just very slow going through the corners. I believe this is heading up the turns 9 and 10 here. Probably is going to get loose here, right? More than likely going on there. And no, he does not actually. So, yeah, we just him getting loose right there prior. But that last time around, I tell you what, man, Talon Smith must have heard me on this broadcast because he actually just posted the fastest lap of the race that last time by, a 2 minute 15-second lap time that last time around. But I wonder real quick if we can actually get the track back up right here just to show the viewers at home how big of a gap that number 5 has. Now, obviously, he's the leader right now, so he is heading around, I believe that is 13 and 14. So you can just see him right now heading through those corners as he heads around. His blue green circle dot right there, heading through. And then second place is so far back, I believe Brody Hanna is all the way down that straightaway. Yeah, he's under fire right now from Steve Hollingsworth. Right now, Brody's doing a really good job, but these two, they're going to be duking it out for the second position. Steven tried to look down to the inside right now, but he's going to lock it up right here. Nice entry by Brody Hanna there in the number 23. Easily rolls through the apex, hits it perfectly. And Stephen Hollingsworth right now is probably just screaming to himself, wow, man, I really want the second place. But those lap fresher tires play a big difference here at these road courses. Brody Hanna pitted last on lap 20. Steve Hollingsworth pitted last on lap number 19.
Yeah, it's such a massive difference here. And that same lap, the 24, was passed by the 23.
That's the bastard. Come on, do it now.
And the 24 there. Hollingsworth tried to make that pass.
Your lap time was 2:17.56.
Complete it, and now Brody Hanna is set sail on a second advantage over that 24 Steven as they come through turn 20 to end lap 22. Heading or to start lap 23, which is putting them about 14 laps left in this race, 15 rather. So that being said, I think we're gonna kick it over to picture-in-picture mode one last time for you guys. Stay tuned. We'll be back after a few short messages.
Behind is increasing. It's now 6.4 seconds. Ahead is now 7.0.
Thank you.
P4.
Talon Smith is looking to make that 6 for 6. He's currently
Don't
down
like
to
that,
a 45-second advantage. Remember, like I said earlier in the broadcast, if you were tuned in earlier, we saw this last season at Sonoma, and the guy who was leading 25 seconds crashed in with a handful of laps to go. I don't want to jinx Talon, but you know, it very well could not be over yet. But we've had absolutely zero issues with this 5 truck throughout this entire race, conserving the tires at the same time, running the fastest lap time, just a handful of laps to go. So that truck is on a set of rails that nobody else has seen.
The track temperature is falling. It's now 95 Fahrenheit.
Go.
Place. He's that guy 45 seconds back. Stephen Hollingsworth sitting in third with almost 47 seconds out that last time by. Going back to the chats, Coaster fan Leo, I know you said you're rooting for Smith.
The gap to Hollingsworth in front is now 5.5.
Locked and loaded, but again, roughly 13 more laps to figure that one out as Talon's coming down the hill through turn 10, headed toward 11. Just such a clean line this guy is running all around the track. No pressure at all around him. Just hits the apex, hits the braking perfectly, heading down the long straight. And yeah, this guy is just on a whole different zip code.
Yeah, I tend to have the commentators curse jinx, but it looks like Talon Smith right now, like we just said, is in a zip code of his own. I don't think anything is going to happen to him. I think the worst case scenario for him, if he were to lose this race probably, is if possibly maybe his internet went out. Let's not hope that on Talon, but obviously it would make this race very, very interesting. We had
set up for a podium, yeah.
This last time we went to commercial. I said about 1 minute and 12 seconds, I think, that he would have a gap over Brody Hanna. I think, Jeremy, you said it was around, you said 52 seconds, and I think our producer Dustin said 1 minute and 16, which I thought was a stretch, but I did say 1 minute and 12. So we will have to see the whole, what the final gap is going to be the second coming into this race, because Talon Smith has been so lights out all night.
My guess was 55.3. I'm guessing even down to the 10. We'll see if that holds true. I know you talked about not wanting to cause a curse or a situation for the 5, but if you do remember 2 nights ago, that person that Talon blocked that wrecked a big chunk of the field, that person that he blocked was that 23 who's on your screen right now in second place. So I think if the 23 was listening in, he'd probably be like, yeah, that's probably a good idea. I think his internet needs to have a glitch or something. Give me the race lead. I'm sure he'd be just fine with that.
That lap time was 2:18.50.
Brody just, he's hanging there. He's got a 3-second lead over second place, or third place rather. So just, doing his thing right now. No pressure around. All the lap trucks up to this point have been just given tons of room. They're even driving through the grass in some instances. So good to see the respect out there, even when it's mentally challenging. We're over an hour into this event. When everyone's so spaced out, it's just you get in your head and you start thinking about other things because it's so not boring, but it's so routine to go around these corners with no one around you. And sometimes you just have a mental lapse and miss a corner and that kind of thing. So this is the gritty time. You have to just keep yourself in check. Get your mark so you don't lose your track position. You got 12 more laps to do that.
Yeah, and I tell you what, who really doesn't want to have a mental check himself is Steve Hollingsworth, because we went to that side-by-side for the final time, man. He was so sideways going through the corners, and we all screamed when it happened because I thought he was just going to absolutely lose it. He has been all over the track tonight, but he's been maintaining in that top 3 the majority of the night. I will say, if there is one battle that I would love and pray and hope to see before the end of this race, is I want to see that man Tyler Brown, that number 00. He has been so fast, right now sitting P5.
Hey, Josh.
He catches Steve Hollingsworth and obviously passes Richie Coy, because that's the driver who does
Okay,
separate,
Richie, you're reeling Hollingsworth in. The gap
Tyler
is
Brown
3.1
has
seconds.
been a super fun driver to watch tonight. I would enjoy to see Tyler pass Richie Coy and get up to Steve Hollingsworth if that is at all possible. But obviously, the gap is so huge between Tyler and Steve. But it would be super fun to see those guys duke it out like they were just a handful of laps ago, Jeremy.
Tyler Brown that time through turn 11 exit just has a good chance of getting to Hollingsworth with himself in the top 3 podium position. Come into the Nerd TV booth and talk to us after the checker flags. So I would say that's going to be your race to really keep your eye on. Right now, though, on track, we got a decent battle for looks like 5th, 6th, and 7th. That's going to be your 00, Tyler Brown, your number 4, Bobby Terrell, and the 29 of Tommy Schaefer, who are all within a second or so until the 29th said, hey, I want to take myself out of this race, lock up them right front tires, cause some smoke, and drop myself back a full second. But the 4 and the 00 right now look like they're going to have a pretty good race, too.
Yeah, and the 4's actually been a little bit quicker than Tyler. See him right there, diving down a little bit. He's going to get really wide almost there on the exit of, or in the center, excuse me, of turn 1. He's been a little bit faster last time around. I believe he was about a second, even that time by, he was about a second faster than Tyler. If there's anybody who could knock Tyler Brown out of this top 5 late to go in Germany, it's definitely going to be Bobby Terrell, because he has been super fast. Closing on the back bumper, you see how good he is through the S's. Tommy Schaefer back behind him in that number 29 machine. As you see, one truck's around in the grass there. Not too sure who that was. Another lap truck there, and it looks to be a silver truck. Not too sure who that is.
Sorry, Chad, I wasn't trying to give you
no, 02, Josh Mayu, and actually I think that's the second time I've seen him personally in that same section of grass. He was going through the S's here, as you're seeing on the Nerd TV replay. Just goes wide through one of the S sections there. Looks like turn 7 potentially. And just locks it up, backs it up off the surface, puts himself in the grass out of harm's way from trucks that were passing by, which is right there, as you saw him go by there. So great heads up there by the 02 of Mayu to just say, hey, why press the issue? I'm going to completely clear these guys, get back on track, and he's 2 laps down. He's the first truck 2 laps down right now, so it's really nothing more than what he could have done just to get tons of space. So once again, respect being shown these FTSR.
Yeah, that's unfortunate too, because it does say on his truck top split setup, so I bet you tonight he might be regretting that, saying after the end of this one, because it has not been a top split setup type race for him tonight. He's struggled. He's been almost all night long since we started. Just unfortunate circumstances for that number 02, Josh Mayu. But it has not been unfortunate circumstances for Talon Smith. He is still holding that lead right now by a significant margin over Brody Hanna. Here's a little battle right here between Stephen Hollingsworth and Richie Coy starting to shape up. Richie's been a little bit closing in on him. He's actually going to dive it in this time by. Might be some contact. No, there won't. Off turn 1, the 24 a little bit loose up on that outside lane. He's able to clear the 19 before they hit turn number 2, as now they're getting ready to hit 3 and 4 and head into the S's. We're going to have to see, Jeremy, if Richie Coy can close that gap, because he looks a lot better than the S's right now than Stephen Hollingsworth in that number 24 F-150.
Good work, mate. Keep it up.
Really excellent racing going on right now. Headed toward the top of the hill here. And the 19 definitely has the preferred grip. He's got the new tires. He's trying to bide his time. 19, he is really patient. At any track you go to, you really have to have your patience here, which is playing dividends for him. Don't press the issue. He's going to dive it in deep, though, into turn 11, makes that passing corner happen. He does it with ease. He's able to just really throw it in there.
Defend your position.
Cut off the 24, not close, just enough to, make sure the 24 doesn't progress his position there. You see the 17 go to the bottom right there on your screen. He's going to stay clear of these guys. 24 Hollingsworth gets the draft down the backstretch, if you want to call it, but does not make the pass effort because he knows the 19 is just that much faster. Going through turn 12, and the 19 actually overshoots the corner exit. It's going to put these guys back to side by side. Hollingsworth is like, all right, you're going to make a mistake. I'm going to try to take you over now and get my position back.
Yeah, that was actually really interesting by Stephen Hollingsworth. I noticed there, Jeremy, when you were saying he got in the draft, because I was just going to say, too, if I were making that call, that he had that slipstream
The gap to Hollingsworth
right behind
is
number
now
19, down that long back straightaway from 11 to 12.
P3.
And it was interesting because he could have went for that pass, but I think he kind of expected Richie Coy right there to maybe overshoot the corner, because maybe Richie thought in his head, Steven's going to go to the bottom here. He's going to have the run. I'm going to have to give him a little bit more room. And the 24 kind of outplayed him right there, but obviously the benefit of the doubt went to Richie Coy right there. But he's kind of just struggling right now, a little bit off corner, as you see him right there, though. Had a good exit. But right now the battle's going to be for that final spot on that podium. Richie Coy and Stephen Hollingsworth right here to these virtual fans and race fans watching at home on Nerd TV here with just 9 laps to go for the Circuit of the Americas.
And I think my 55.3 is going to be thrown out the window here. The roadie hand is 50 out. So he's got 3 seconds left, and he's about to lose the second lap. So I think that the 1 minute 12 second mark might be a little more reachable.
I think you should.
Laps to do to you down. 8.5 laps to go. We got number 5. Unable to really make any ground on the 8 a second. That double zero's got a lot of handling issues through the S's now. That truck is all over the place. A lot of right to left where you don't want to see it there. Right behind him, you have a good battle with the 4 of Bobby Terrell and the 29 of Tommy Schaefer, who have still not left each other here. 29, I think, overall is slightly faster than Bobby, but he keeps making little mistakes. Right now, this is a great opportunity. We'll see if he does anything through turn 11. Looks like he's gonna not try it. Bobby actually plays a little defense there, going through turn 11. Apex, the 29, heavy tire spin off the corner exit there. You saw the wheel work there. Looking at the helmet cam of Tommy Schaefer. It's going to back up about a half a second here. Head off into turn number 12.
Yeah, these guys, their tires are screeching just as much as they were before that first set of green flag pit stops, which was obviously the only set of green flag pit stops that we did have. But you see Tommy Schaefer right now, good exit right there. You see him upshifting now. He's going to head through these corners. While he's cranking that wheel practically 90 degrees from where the orange strip is, where it does center the wheel.
Off the pace.
Man, Tommy Schaefer just really overdriving the corners right now, which is unfortunate because he was catching Bobby Terrell right there big time going through the S's, and you see him right there getting a little loose. But Bobby Terrell,
second fastest truck on the
just catch Tyler
track
Brown,
here. What are you talking
the
about
top
there,
5.
Chief?
And maybe Richie Coy and Steve Hollingsworth can have a good battle here too late in the going with just 8 laps to go.
Yeah, I think the 29, if he can rail off a couple of solid laps without any single mistake, I think he's going to be able to pass Bobby Terrell no problem. And I think he's even going to pass Tyler Brown, who has a lot of handling issues himself. I think he can pass both these guys, but he has to stay focused, keep his head down, and just tick off the laps. You don't need to overshoot it. You know, your truck's a little faster.
The gap to Hollingsworth behind is now 2.6.
Clear, and I think you got it. Right now, Bobby Terrell's catching a little bit closer to that double zero as Tyler Brown. They're staying within 1 second or less of each other here as they're entering through the S's. Lap 30, 8 laps to go for these boys. Going through 4 and 5 right now. Keeping it clean for the S's.
8 laps to go.
Actually looking a lot cleaner than what he had in previous laps through here. He's able to advance a little bit, or at least maintain pace on the 4 truck. So you gotta keep yourself clean, and we're gonna kick it over to the Nerd TV replay. Looks like our producer Dustin's caught a little bit of action here from the 17 of Steve Loomis going up the hill for turn number 1. And it looks like this guy just shoots it really wide. Not sure. The 22 of Blackner looked like he did the same thing and then said, oh, looks like you let me pass. All right, thank you very much. So 17 giving tons of respect. But as you're on the replay there, Jason, the 29 of Schaefer, all of a sudden back to the 4 of Bobby Terrell. Looks like Bobby had a little bit of a tough 9, 10, and 11 there and was able to allow the 29 back in.
Yeah, the 29 right here actually going into turn number 12, Derby might be able to close the gap big time. You see him right there on those rebel strips. You don't want to get on those too much when you're downshifting because the transition back from the strips onto that pavement can be troublesome. You can easily wheel spin because of the different surface transition. It's like going from really grippy surface with super glue on it, back, or maybe Velcro for an example, back onto like ice, for example. That's what it's like driving on those curves when you have worn out tires. You saw how much ground he was able to gain on Bobby Terrell there heading into turn number 12. And this is shaping up to be a good battle too, Jeremy, because they are catching that double zero of Tyler Brown, but obviously everybody is stronger in all different sections and sectors of the racetrack. So this should be a very interesting battle here as we head on to 7 laps to go. Keep an eye on these 3 guys to try to knock somebody off of a position for a top 5, because Tyler Brown right now has a mirror full of Bobby Terrell and Tommy Schaefer here with 7 to go.
Yeah, we're going to keep the camera focused on these guys. This is really the only battle on the track. Heating up really well as the tank 29 again locks up that right front tire, this time going into turn 1, continuing to make mistakes. And that's what's going to cost him from passing the 4 and passing the 00. He just does not need to overdrive the corners. He has the faster truck. We've seen this now for the past 5 laps. He can do it. He just has to drop the mistakes. The 00 going really slow through the S's, backing up the number 4. The 29 all of a sudden back in the picture once again. Virtually the 00 having some problems with handling. Going up to through 8 and then turns 9 here. Right on the back bumper. Tommy Schaefer, he might have a great chance here through the braking zone of 11. Let's see if he cuts it down low to try to make the pass. He gets the middle down there. Tommy's going to play a little bit of defense, but it's not going to be enough. Tommy Schaefer locks up the left front that time. A little bit of wheel hop on the apex, but claims the path. 29 Schaefer advances now into the 7th position, or 6th position. Let's see if he can hold that here going back to
Yeah, well, defense, but your bottom dollar too. He just lost a lot of tire right there. As you see the 4 of Bobby Terrell looking to attack again, but here goes Schaefer so deep back. Yeah. Was probably still in his right front and rear because you see how slippery and slimy he is on edges of every single part and sector of this racetrack. And you see the 00 Tyler Brown, man, you might as well put these guys on ice skates because they're practically ice skating around this 3-mile road course here in Austin, and it just is like they're on dirt as well because, you know, unfortunately these guys only one time that they pit, so now these tires are screeching. It's practically a dirt road course race. You might as well call this one of those trophy truck races. I believe that's what it is when they run on dirt. I know, I think the Deegans used to run those too, and you just see how loose these guys are out of every single corner. But Tommy Schaefer, a guy who I thought was going to struggle a little bit more than the 2 of these guys, he is right on the back tailgate of the number 00 there as he heads down the front straightaway. He's going to look to the inside. He's been so close. He's just been diving in so deep. Here he goes. Dive bomb to the inside of the racetrack. Might be some contact. No, there won't. Side by side off turn number 1. The red and blue truck. This reminds me, oh my gosh, this reminds me of the Halo days when you would see the red versus the blue Spartans. It's practically what this is right now. They're side by side. Now the S's in the 29 of Tommy Schaefer. Bravo to him. Passes 2 trucks in just half a lap, and that top 5 could be a spot for him to take.
He eliminated some of the issues he was having a few laps prior. 00 got loose quite a few times, checked up before, and allowed the 29 to quickly zoom by both of these guys. He's now in that 5th position. In this league, they keep their stats. They have all their stats listed on their website, including top 5. So it's just one little notch in that column. As he takes it wide through 11, the tire lockup, allowing the 00 Tyler Brown to now get back to the inside, almost making contact as they try to merge back onto the track together. Dead heat side by side as they try to go through turn number 12 that way. And speaking of the stats, I want to give a shout out to our Sim Racing Points friends. Sim Racing Points is an all-inclusive league points management system that allows owners and admins to the ability to completely track league stats.
You've just done
Sim
218.53.
Racing Points does not stop there. For the avid webmasters, they allow creation of custom widgets for any website to fully display points, results, and more with easy upload of the export from iRacing. So just a few clicks of the mouse and you can have any league looking professional and looking clean, whether if you want full page layouts or widgets or anything in between. These guys got your back at a really good price point. So head over to simracingpoints.com, check out their pricing and packaging, or if you want to go to this league that you want,
in front is now 2.3
FTSR.net.
seconds.
They utilize this software and it can show everything that the software has to offer in real time. If you're watching it, you can go right after this race, check them out. You'll see everything updated right away without having to really dig deep. It's all displayed on a nice, really clean looking page, fully updated. As now we go into about, was it 5 laps to go now, and the 29 got passed by the 00 on the backstretch side of the track. Now the 29 looks like deja vu again, but this time the 29 cannot take it, getting a little too bumpy on the curve there on the top of the turn 1, allowing the 00 Tyler Brown to go about a second advantage now as they go through the S's.
Yeah, man, I was just going to say, Jeremy, that 29 has been known for the dive bombs all race long. Unfortunately, just a dive bomb gone wrong for him, but he was able to keep that position going into turn number 1. I think Richie Coy possibly just went off track a little bit there. He seems to be fine, but you can see right here on the Nerd TV replay, what really got that 29 loose, you saw right there. If we could maybe take another look at the replay, you saw the 29 heading into turn number 1. He dipped all 4 tires below that line, right there. That's what killed that truck's momentum, because you saw the truck hop over those curbs, the transition, the way the truck slammed back down onto the ground. The tires aren't used to it. They're still getting ready to grip that asphalt, and unfortunately put the power down, and that's what it was able to lose that position for him. But he does maintain himself back just outside the top 5 in 6th, but he's still chasing down Tyler Brown, Jeremy. This is still the battle to watch for on the racetrack here in the closing laps.
5th, 6th, and 7th, all within a blanket's throw still, as we got 4.5 laps to go here. And yeah, that 29, Tommy Schaefer, if he even got a yield penalty from iRacing for cutting the corner, the way he got so loose and was able to save it, he checked himself up so much that they probably eliminated that yield time right away. But 29 throws it deep into the turns 15 and 16. A little wide on that corner exit, allows us to get a little breathing room here, but the 29 is so much faster. Tyler Brown is come through turn 18 here. The 29 makes a really interesting cut there to the outside of the 00. Tyler Brown gets really loose again. As you said earlier, they are on ice skates. Basically down to the court. The 29 makes another mistake and almost cut the crossover there through 20. Cannot make it happen. 29, Tommy Schaefer once again has control of this place. Can he keep the mistakes down there? But Bobby still throws it deep into turn 1. Locks it up. Pushes the double gear a little wider than expected. Tires spin. Still going straight. Bobby trying to make that pass through, but nope. The double gear can have the first thing go to that first corner. And then Bobby says hello. Down the bottom of turn 4.
I'll tell you what, Jeremy, I was hollering right there when you were making that call coming off the
Richie,
final
you're
corner in
reeling.
turn 20,
Hannah,
coming
yeah,
back to
the
the
gap
line,
is
because
now
that
0.6.
00, man, he always so loose right there going through the S's. Oh my goodness, Tyler Brown is on ice skates, man. I would just bring it into the pits at this point if I were him, man. It was about to blow a tire practically, but he almost wiped out the 29 of Tommy Schaefer going into turn number 20. You can just see from the virtual eyes of Tyler Brown from his helmet cam here. You see the rear view camera, or the rear view mirror, excuse me, and you see his dash, you see the engine. Oh, you know, my goodness, this is so exciting. I love watching these guys and the way that they craft their road course races. You see right here, we look at inside his cockpit here from the passenger side. You see how bumpy it is down that straightaway. Here he goes. He's going to be downshifting right here, heading into turn number 12.
3.5 off the base.
Slowing it up.
Sector 2
Look at
is
how loose he's going to
0.5
get.
off
Look
the
at him. He's
base.
already loose.
Sector 3 is
super
0.7
loose.
off the
He's dirt
base.
tracking, man. He might as well be a super late model driver here tonight, because that's practically what he's been all night. I can't see though Tyler Brown making up that ground here with just 3 laps to go, trying to catch Bobby Terrell and Tommy Schaefer. This looks like to be Tommy Schaefer's top 5, unless Bobby Terrell has something to say about it, as the 00 almost goes around right there, man. These guys are on ice skates.
Excellent camera work there by Dustin, utilizing the cockpit 360 camera. Look at this guy. Every time he goes into the corner, the wheel is pointed the opposite direction. He's taking tips from, you know, the Cars movie there, where you gotta turn right to go left, and vice versa. Every single corner, you can see that tape there on the wheel, just turning the opposite direction. This truck is just all over the map. This guy's gotta be full of sweat, as he's coming to 3 laps to go. I'm sure he is cheering for this race to be over with, as the 14 of Lane Allen, who have not talked about, who won here last year, is now going to pass him, because the 00 just has no grip whatsoever left in those tires, while the 14 of Lane Allen
Overshoots it!
Overshoots it by a mile. Is going to give that position back up. Does not touch the sand, thankfully. Able to keep on the asphalt, but the way the 14's running compared to the 00, Tyler Brown, I think Lane Allen's got a perfect chance to get back around him within this same exact lap. He's already to the back bumper of him, going through the S's. There is just no rubber whatsoever. They're on the virtual how he's even keeping on the track. He's basically drifting.
Yeah, if I were Tyler Brown, let's just say he were to get a top 3, I would love to ask him for a post-race question what his tire wear was right there at the end of this run. But you see right now a driver, like you just said before, and I'm going to say it, we have not talked about all night. So he goes for the dive here, heading into turn number 11, downhill, hard braking zone, downshifting, hopefully. No, he's going to lose it. He saves it. My goodness, that's 2 times, man. And the thing is about Stephen Allen here, Jeremy, he doesn't really have to push the truck that hard. He gains up to Tyler Brown so quickly. So if I were him, I would just
you're looking good for a podium.
Exit and really get into the corners, because you can already see how much time he's gaining on that 00 even after overshooting and getting loose there into the corner. But Stephen Allen, we haven't really talked about him all night, sitting 8th, because obviously those top 6 guys have really been lights out all night long. But here he is, the defending race winner. Here he is sitting inside the top 10. Great night, looking to try to get a top 7 position here if he can get around Tyler Brown in his last few laps, because he's more than likely going to get to his bumper again.
I'm super entertained by these, but we do have a battle for 2nd place. Teammates Brody Hanna and Richie Coy side by side, essentially exiting turn number 1 on the top of the hill. Brody defended the position. They both got a little sideways coming through the apex there, and now Brody Hanna has to defend over his really fast teammate. Long run of the 19 has always been stellar. Every single track that he goes to, always can count on him to be there late in the race, and this is the case here. We are just under 2 laps left remaining in this event. Just under 1 minute behind Talon Smith, which is crazy to say all by itself, but it is true. Just under 1 minute behind that 5 machine. But this is the battle for 2nd. This is turning out to be a really good race now.
On your left, clear to the left.
As the 00 and the 14 kind of figure out what they're trying to do. So the 23 gets heavy on the braking. There's one on the 19 to come through, but somehow the 23 straightened up early and was able to get the gas down, so he's going to get a good launch off.
Yeah, he is going to get a good launch off the corner, but this is the back straightaway where Richie Coy, even though the 23 was able to gather and back up, Richie Coy was able to have a much better. Oh my goodness, what a chance to get inside the 23 with Brody Hanna. I think he wanted the dominant track position. They're going into the corners. We have a big gaggle of cars up in front of them. That's the 17 right there. He's off track. That could have been big there for those 2 trucks. The 19 there on the outside lane. He wanted that inside lane. Would not let him have it, but this is shaping up to be a good battle here. Talon Smith, though, already taking that white flag. 1 lap to go here. Looks like it's going to be battle for 2nd, 3rd here on the podium between Brody Hanna and Richie Coy. So hopefully they don't take each other out here.
This is the battle for sure. 19's definitely faster. He's got 21 corners left to figure out how to get around his teammate here, which I think if you turn 20 like he did last lap, he's going to have a great chance up the hill. Gets to the corner, but 23 actually gets a little bit better of a launch that time. They've been able to secure the position at least through turn 1. 54 is most likely going to give leeway to these guys, as he knows they're coming up strong. They've already gave the verbal signals to one another, saying, hey, I'm coming up on you. You should probably let us go. We got a really good race right now. Don't want to mess this up. But as these guys do turn 1, Talon Smith.
No problem, man.
Turn 12.
Yeah, Talon Smith has been dominant all night.
Don't worry, I'll be back up there.
I mean, practically led every single lap of this race if you were to not even count green flag pit stops. Well, honestly, yeah, no, do count those, because not to mention the fact that this guy maintained
Clear right,
the
you're
lead,
clear.
after the pits. It's like the amount of time he put, I believe it was on Tyler Brown. He just so happened to put a good enough gap between him and Tyler Brown there. Those green flag pit stops did
I know.
happen to where he came out about 2 to 3 seconds ahead of the field. But Talon Smith is looking to come around these last few corners, Jeremy, and he's just going to put on an absolute clinic here at COTA. Like I said, that song going to be dropping Friday. I dominated at COTA, and here comes Talon Smith coming to the flag.
Coming to the final corner, the Martin Sports winning moment is when Talon Smith entered the server tonight, coming across the line, 1 minute advantage, just over 1 minute, as he just completely leads it from start to finish. Just an amazing drive. What a comeback. Coming from that controversial block on Monday, I think he makes up for it tonight a little bit as he just completely dominates the rest of the field as we're going back to second and third place now, who are just now coming through turns 15 into 16. The race is already over, at least for the leader, and these guys are, still got 4 corners left as Brody Hanna did get passed by the 19, and then locks
I know. I'm sorry. You did a great race, dude. That was an awesome job.
Probably finished second here as 23 now having some huge handling problems getting through these final few corners. Coming through turns 19 now. A whole second separates him and his teammate. That guy right behind him in before, he is not for position. That is Rick Webb. A lap down. 19, Richie Coy is going to take home second place. Richie Coy looks like he's going to cross the line in third. You go back a little bit further. The number 24 is the next one going to be crossing the line. His race.
That's right, I'm up to 32 now.
He has been out of shape for the past few laps.
Would you rather me not have raced you?
Corner of his race as they come across the line there. And these guys are still crossing the line as Talon Smith has almost done his whole parade lap.
Yeah, it just goes to show you the amount of talent that Talon Smith had. You might as well call him Talent Smith here tonight. I'll probably use that in post-race with him because he had all the talent here tonight on the road course. You see other drivers coming across the line. Bobby Terrell, nice job inside the top 10, just shy of a top 5. He'll come home 6th. Stephen Allen comes home 7th. That's last year's winner in that number 14 Bass Pro Shops car.
I wasn't going to do it unless I can get you clean. I didn't want to do what I did to Tony to you.
8th. And Michael Blackner silently comes home 9th. Tony Solari comes home 10th. Cody McKinney comes home 11th, and we're waiting for the rest of the field to come by. But like you said, Jeremy, Talon Smith is more than probably like halfway done with his parade lap here, and he'll come down to the start-finish line, probably burn it down or park it.
Nick Goebel and TJ Bartell, the last ones to cross the line. That was for position there, I do believe. And they crossed the line 12th and 13th, which is the last guys on the lead lap to do so. So it is over. Everyone has crossed the line. Talon Smith is back around the track. He's going to do his victory burnouts here, leading this race from practice start time to the checker flags of race time. Did not lose anything on this track, and well-deserved burnout as he's going to burn what's very little left of them Goodyear tires. As we're going to go down the complete finishing order here for the Echo Park 100. Talon Smith takes home the checker flag. Richie Coy is going to finish second. Brody Hanna finishes in third. Stephen Hollingsworth 4th. Tommy Schaefer 5th. Bobby Terrell 6th. Lane Allen 7th. Tyler Brown 8th. Michael Blackner 9th. And Tony Solari rounds out the top 10.
Yeah, and then to round out your top 20, Cody McKinney comes home just shy of a top 10. He'll come home 11th. Nick Goebel comes home 12th. TJ Bartell finishes 13th. Brian Bliss 14th. JP Burns, after a rough night for him earlier on, he'll come home inside the top 15. And then you have Alan Duranko. He'll come home 16th. Kyle Milliken, a driver who was so fast in Atlanta, like I talked about just this past Monday, he'll come home 17th. Galton Gum comes home in the 18th spot. And you have 19th there. That is Rick Webb. And then rounding out the top 20, that is Ryan Chapman in the number 27, finishing a lap down.
Chad Curran 21st, Joshua O'Connor 22nd. 23rd place belongs to Steve Angie. 24th, Josh Mayu. 25th place, Stephen Loomis. 26th place is Maxwell Solsch. 27th, Sherwood Williford. 28th, Joseph McKinney. Timothy Stubblefield 29th. Round out the top 30, Brandon Elder. 31st, Casey McMullen. 32nd, Colby Mice. And Justin Dilt, who did not start this race, does round out the 33 truck field for the 37 laps here at Circuit of the Americas. We're going to take our only full screen commercial break. We're going to wound up the top 3, and we'll have a word with them here shortly. welcome back to full screen coverage for the Nerd TV's broadcast of the Full Throttle Sim Racing Martin Sports Truck Series. As we're going to start the Martin Sports post-race show, we're going to talk to our top three and see what their thoughts were of this 37-lap grueling race here at the 20-turn Circuit of the Americas. First up, third place finisher, 23, Mr. Brody Hanna. Do you have a copy?
Gotcha, man.
What a race for you guys. Fury Motorsports, all in all, pretty impressive stuff, all within the top 10. So congratulations for the team effort there. You and Richie taking home third and second, respectively. So just walk us through. I know Tony usually makes the setups here on the road course, but you guys seem to have the better hand on the truck. So what did the prep look like coming in tonight?
Well, we made a little bit of a caster change, honestly, was the biggest thing to kind of get the trucks handling the way we wanted to. But really, honestly, just running laps, getting familiar with the track, making sure we lay down a solid qualifying time, be towards the front with no cautions is important. And honestly, just keep it on the track. I mean, that's that's the name of the game. But yeah, I mean, it was a good night. It was a good solid night. Kind of a quiet night out front. I got to go back and look and see what else happened. But yeah, except for catching those lap cars there at the end. There was three of them in a group. That kind of shook things up a little bit.
Yeah, Bernie, nice job tonight coming home P3 on the podium. Last driver to do so. I noticed too, right towards the end of the race, I don't remember if you got it earlier, but as far as I'm concerned, I want to say you made contact later on in the race. You just mentioned some lap trucks. Is that why Richie was able to really kind of pull away from you right there at the end? Did you maybe get some contact with lap trucks? Just curious by chance.
No, I made contact with Richie. We were racing hard there at the end. We were joking about it, having a little fun there. But yeah, I kind of slipped up on the corner before he got a run on me out of the corner before the long straight. He got in front of me, so I kind of drove it down into the corner, bumped him out of the way, and that's all happening in front of the or behind the lap cars too. It was chaos. But yeah, I mean, we had fun. It was a fun little battle. Hope you guys enjoyed that. First and second among the non-aliens, so that's good.
Yeah, no kidding. And we thought we had a stage break to start, and then we realized there wasn't going to be one, and things got really strung out. So whenever there's a little battle like that, especially toward the end, we really hone in on it, and it provided some good content for sure to close out this race tonight. But once again, congratulations. Floor is yours. Who would you like to thank before we let you go tonight?
Hey, thanks, guys. I got to thank all the guys on Fury for working on the setup, kind of just running laps, getting familiar. I usually look forward to coming to these road courses because we usually have something to play with. So I appreciate that. Appreciate you guys up in the booth. I know there was a little bit of mix up of who was going to be in the booth tonight. So appreciate you guys being here and being able to cover that. I know we got somebody new next week, so appreciate you guys being here. Got to thank everybody out there on the racetrack for what they do, for showing up. We apparently had a pretty good race. I didn't hear anything really going on the radio, so that's a good sign. And unfortunately, I forgot this last week, so I really got to give a shout out to Martin Sports for sponsoring the series. Scott Martin out there doing a great job with his company. We appreciate him coming on, being able to sponsor the series, and hopefully getting his name out there a little bit. But other than that, guys, get a good night for Fury.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And congratulations once again on bringing home third place. We'll catch you on Monday.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yes, sir. And that was the 23 machine of Brody Hanna. He referred there as next week. We will not be here for this coming Wednesday, as we're taking a 1 week off, and then we'll be back after the following week. But we're going to now bring in second place here, Richie Coy, who finished right in front of his teammate there. Had a little fun battle toward the end of the race here with Brody Hanna. Richie, got a copy?
Yep. What's up, nerds?
What's up, man? Congratulations on bringing home second place. At one point, I thought maybe you'd be finishing fourth or fifth, but knowing you, that long run finally kicks in every single time, and you passed a couple guys, and it came down to you and your teammate. Walk us through that battle there toward the end.
Yeah, I thought I thought I had him early on in the race, and then I spun in, I don't know, that little section in the back, and it put me way back to like 9th or 10th again, and I had to work my way back forward again, which I didn't think I was going to. I didn't think I was going to get up anywhere near the top three, much less get to second. So Yeah, I caught Brody at the end. I was catching him there towards the end, and when I caught him, I'm like, this is not going to be easy. And I wanted to make sure I was able to get by him clean, and I was able to do that, I guess, on the last lap there, going into 11 maybe. And then, yeah, I don't think he's, and I get it. He's not happy about losing second on the last lap. I can totally understand that for sure there. But you know, it was a good battle, and we came home second and third for Fury, so that's a good result for the team.
Yeah, Richie, you guys had one heck of a battle. We were hollering for you guys to keep on going there late in the going. I will say, though, towards the end of that race, or towards the middle of that race, we were sitting here waiting for that caution to come out. And then I explained to Jeremy, I think that maybe the league possibly decided to take away that stage caution due to obviously the actual top three divisions in real NASCAR. They obviously took away the stage cautions for these road courses, and I believe that was probably the same case here tonight. If you guys were to have that caution here tonight, do you think any of you guys would have had anything for Talon here tonight?
No, he was amazingly fast tonight. You know, we were all running for second there. But yeah, you're right. We had the stage, and the stage will be, I think, lap 12, the end of lap 12, but no stage caution tonight because of the road course. But yeah, nobody had anything for Talon. He was in his own planet tonight. We were all, like I said, racing for second.
Yeah, he's just on a whole different mission, a whole different zip code. And but congratulations there, Richie. Top two, closing in the points battle a little bit. Ryan Chapman had an off night, so kind of closing everyone just a little bit to bring that championship hopes a little closer to some people as we're approaching halfway through the season. But the floor is yours. Who would you like to thank before we let you go this evening?
Fury Motorsports as usual. Again, a lot of work went into this setup tonight. You know, Bobby got sixth tonight, and Tony got 10th, I think. So all in all, good night. All four of us are in the top 10. So nice with that. I guess next week we go to dirt, so I can't wait for that. That'll be another fun week that might shake up the point standings. But thanks to you guys for coming in the booth and doing what you do. Thanks to everybody who watches. Thanks to Tony's mom and dad. And yeah, thanks everyone.
Yeah, appreciate the kind words, man. And we'll catch you on Monday.
All right, man.
That was your second place finisher, Mr. Richie Coy, in the 19 Martin Sports F-150. Now it's time to bring in your race winner, Kia Victory Lane for Operation Motorsports, Omnia Motorsports driver, Mr. Talon Smith. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on that completely dominant win from practice lap 1 all the way to the checker flags here tonight. Just well-earned victory for that number 5 Toyota Tundra. What a comeback. Monday, you had a good shot at the win, had a late a block that kind of, messed up your night, and then you come here tonight and you just completely earned that victory ever since the beginning of practice. Such a dominant truck. Walk us through your preparation coming into this evening.
Makani provided a real good setup for me. Obviously, Omni allowed me to drive the truck for this season, which is real cool for them. Lots of practice laps.
Yeah, you talk about lots of practice laps, Talon. I was just saying beforehand during the broadcast, you might as well legally change your name to Talent Smith after that one, my friend, because you certainly were in your own zip code here tonight. And I mean, I said you were going to be dropping a song this Friday, jokingly called "I Dominated at COTA" as well. So I'm expecting that to actually come about. But man, you had that issue at Atlanta. You were so fast at the front this past Monday. Now you come into the Truck Series. Obviously tonight, completely dominated. Put on your own clinic here tonight. Practically, it was all about the Talon Smith show. How do you take tonight and transfer it on to the rest of the season, my friend?
We have real fast trucks that Makani provides, and I'm just hoping I can prove to the others what I can do after Monday.
Well, if you keep that performance up, I think that's going to be no question there. As we gained some points, everyone did on Ryan Chapman, who's 49 coming into this race, 49 up on everybody. That brings him back in. We're just approaching halfway through the season, so there's still plenty of time to get up there and try to prove what you're worth. But congratulations once again, man. Just from start to finish, this was your race. This was the Talon Smith 100. The floor is yours, though. Who would you like to thank before we let you go tonight?
Obviously, again, Omni and Ryan for allowing me to drive their charted this season, and just McConney providing great setups for the trucks.
Well, appreciate the good words there, and go and celebrate with the team for the job well done this evening. We'll catch you on Monday.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. And that was your number 5, Talon Smith, from start to finish. It was his race, Jason, all the way through. I'm kind of curious. You posed the question, what's that do for him the rest of the season? I think that provides some good momentum, don't you think?
Yeah, well, obviously, Jeremy, not every race is going to be a road course race, so he's not going to have those same opportunities like he did here tonight. Like I had said, some guys, this is their bread and butter. Other guys, this is the black licorice for them. They absolutely hate it. I myself am a guy who's kind of in the middle. I love road course racing, but obviously there's people like Talon, which obviously in the iRacing community, they call them aliens because they're just totally from their own world. This is just, like I said, their bread and butter, and Talon was just absolutely lights out tonight. And I was close. A minute and 5 seconds ended up being the gap. So I was close. Give it a few more seconds, maybe a few more laps, he would have got there. But after tonight, Talon, what he did here tonight, he's going to have to take this and transfer it. Obviously, it's just a mental thing. It brings you confidence. You're like, man, he just talked about it. He wants to prove to these guys here that he belongs, that he can stay, and he said thanks for the setups, thanks to his team for letting him drive this chartered truck here tonight, so which makes him locked into pretty much every race if he shows up. So, if I were him, just take what he learned from Atlanta, after that bad block, and then he comes here tonight, absolutely dominates, leads pretty much every single lap, I believe he did, in a sense. And, after tonight, he's just got to continue to push forward and show these guys what he's made of, because I think he's going to be one to reckon with here this season for sure.
Yeah, he was short on his words during that interview there, but you could tell the emotion in his voice when he said, like, he has to prove his worth to these guys. Like, he can tell he felt bad about that. And so the rest of the season, that's going to be his opportunity to shine and show exactly what he's worth. But you show that by your speed on the track and the respect around others. I think if he keeps clean the rest of the time and can finish consistently in the top 5, I think that's going to erase anything possible that people have to think negatively about it. And, I think he's going to set himself up for a great season 2 coming up later this year for the Full Throttle Sim Racing boys. But it is our time to close out the show. I'm going to thank all of our partners one last time before we let you guys go. Starting in 2006, Full Throttle Sim Racing became a thing. So almost 20 years now in the making, FTSR has been here. So if you want to be part of this action, out of their 4 series they offer each week, including the 2 that we broadcast, visit FTSR.net and get registered today. Mach 1 Performance, race fabrication shop that has produced champions and winners of all sorts of racing divisions. Find them at Facebook at facebook.com/Mach 1 Performance. Sim Racing Points is your league points management system that allows you to completely track your league stats and more with one simple upload. Find them at simracingpoints.com. Martin Sports, top quality apparel to make you look stylish and feel comfortable. See the whole apparel product line at martinsports.gg. iRacing iFlag, get your notifications a fraction of a second faster without ever leaving your focus behind the racing action. Visit iRacingIFlag.com for the full product line. Butt Kicker, the ultimate feel from a race car into your seat, provided by the Butt Kicker with their haptic response system. You're going to find them at thebuttkicker.com. See their whole product lineup of haptic products for your sim rig. Team Watson Racing Setups. Get quality, professionally built setups for all your asphalt oval needs. Visit teamwatsonatracing.com for pricing and packages. And then lastly, Roasted Gems Coffee. Premium coffee beans roasted just for you. Start your day the right way with coffee from Roasted Gems Coffee. And that's at roastedgems.com to get a taste. Now, we will be here on Monday, 8:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Cup race here at Circuit of the Americas. And then we're going to take a 1-race hiatus as our producer, Dustin, his child has to go for some surgery that's pretty intense, so to speak. Got to be there for him. So going to do all the prayers for Ty back there for next Wednesday. And hopefully all the surgery procedures go well and he comes out of that thing, out on the uppity up. But until then, you guys stay safe out there. Get your nerd on.
All right, guys. That's it. Broadcast over. Just wanted to say good night. We'll see everybody. Tomorrow night with some GT racing, GT3 racing. Everybody have a great night.